Hey everyone, it's Mystic Mars here with your weekend oracle. I'm going to try to make it a quickie, weekend oracle quickie like I like to call it, but we have a few things to talk about. We have the Uranus retrograde, and some of you guys I know are like, oh no, what's that? We know that we hate Mercury retrograde. Most of us are scared of it, and then you're like, there's other planets that do this. So we could talk a little bit about the Uranus retrograde and what it means for you specifically. So this reading here is going to not only talk about what's happening on the weekend, but since Uranus is now in retrograde, these cards are going to tell us what we have to know aside from what's happening in the sky. So for those who aren't familiar, a retrograde planet is a planet that from our perspective from the Earth, it looks like it's moving backwards. So it's not literally moving backwards, but from our perspective, it is. So when that happens, it's less about the external and more about the internal. It's really about reflection and things like that. So when this happens, we have to take a look at what the planet is and what it signifies. So Uranus is the planet of rebellion. It's the planet of revolution. It's the planet of kind of speaking your truth, things like that. Think of very revolutionary people. That's Uranus. Kind of electric people as well. So for those of you who don't know, about the planets, this is just like really in a nutshell what it is. And if you are familiar with the planets, feel free to drop it there what you think that Uranus is all about. All of us have a little bit different take. But collectively, we know that it could be about surprises, little surprises coming with this retrograde. In essence, it's about unconventional methods, unconventional thought. People who see now Aquarians are ruled by Uranus, and they're usually super unconventional people in appearance and mindset, things like that. So we have to look at that sometimes too to get an overall glimpse of what Uranus is about. That's what I like to do. Hey guys, welcome. So Uranus retrograde, it just started. And I will not be talking about the Mercury retrograde because that doesn't happen for a little bit longer, but I wanted to mention that there are other planets that retrograde all the time and that they bring their own special little thing. So this reading will be about that and what we do with that energy. So when Uranus goes retrograde, it's time for us to kind of break free of the self-limiting things. It's time to expand a little bit. It's time to broaden our worldview and to broaden our understanding of humanity and to bring that in. Remember I said retrograde's more about the internal rather than the external. So it's not like you're going to be standing in a picket line with a fence, with a sign. Well, I said picket, then I thought fence. It's not like you're going to be standing on the front lines with a sign, revolution or anything like that. It's more of an inner rebellion, an inner revolution. You're going to revolutionize who you are. And this lasts for quite a while. Uranus retrogrades last about 6 months or so. So it's going to be a lot of self stuff. And I know this is on top of the Chiron retrograde and all of that stuff. And then we're going to have a Mercury retrograde, of course, here in a little bit. So it's really a revolutionary kind of rebellious, breaking free energy right now. So what I want to do is I want to pull these cards. I have pulled the cards, and I'm going to do my little thing where you guys are going to look at them and tell me what you see. And so as we do that, just think about the things that you think you need to know to break free of whatever's holding you back personally. This Uranus retrograde is happening in the sign of Aries. That's a lot about the self. That's a lot about the independence. What is holding you back from expressing yourself? What's holding you back from expressing your fire? Now that we're in Leo season, and I'm talking about Aries, a lot of fire stuff going on. So who's tampering your fire? Who's dampening? What am I trying to say? Tamping your fire. And how are you not expressing it? And so think about that as we pan down and take a look at these cards. So what are you getting here? Are you getting anything from these cards specifically in relation to what I just said about Uranus? The ties that bind. How are you going to create a new story? What impressions do you get from this card? Besides, the obvious, the lightning bolt here, what do you think it's on the other side of this? What animal is on the other side of this? What are you getting? You could also tell me what number you're seeing, colors, What do you think? And once again, for those who are just joining, this reading is about the weekend, but it's more about how Uranus has just retrograded. So that's about a bit of an inner rebellion. It's about walking your talk. How are you going to do that? Speaking your truth. Alrighty. So, bear popped into mind. Oh, we've had a lot of bear. You know what someone recently told me? Last night they were like, oh my gosh, it feels like it's been a pattern of forgiveness, patience, da, 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 da. And it kind of has. We've had a lot of that. That's how it was last month. But I told them, I said, you know what? I think that it's time to get into action. Do you guys feel that? Do you feel that it's time to get into action mode now? It's like, all right, I did the forgiveness thing and I did the patience thing. I'm ready to move. I'm ready to operate now, because Leo season, a lot of fire, all this stuff going on, eclipses galore, which throughout the month I'm going to be talking about these things. I don't want to drop it all on you at once. So today we're talking about the Uranus retrograde because it just happened. So are you guys ready to get going? Are you ready to be like, all right, I get it. I'm time to move and shake, time to move and shake. So this is Hawk medicine. So, you know, I love when we get birds, because once again, we're working with the air element, and we got wind fairy on Monday. So once again, we're working a little bit with that air element. And what does air do with fire? I'll ask you, that's a little pop quiz. What does air do to fire? I know there's a delay, so it'll take you guys a while to answer. I know you're smart. What does air do to fire? How do they help each other out? And as you ponder that, I can read you the little message of Hawk. So this is Hawk, messenger of the sky, circle my dreams and teach me the message as we fly. So it is about the messenger. Think of the messenger birds. Think of that. Yes, fans the flames, combustible, yes. They work together, fire and air. Whereas if you get like fire and earth, or like water and fire, it's a little bit more of a difficult energy sometimes. Like even if people-wise, if you have a lot of elements of earth in you and someone you're interacting with has fire, it may not flow as smoothly as if it's a fire and air person, or if it's a earth and water person. And you get how that kind of pairs up. It's pretty cool. Feeds the flame, yes. So it's time to fan the flame, feed it with the element of air. We're getting bashed over the head with that right now. So this is kind of like Mercury as well, messenger of the gods, Hawk medicine. Did anyone see a hawk or a bird? Did anyone figure that in? So it's time to listen, discern the message. Oh my gosh, that's so important. I'm not seeing a lot of discernment lately. And, you know, I won't say that it's just politics. I won't say that it's just in the spiritual communities. It's all over the place. Uranus can be pretty discerning. It's time to turn that within. Discern what you're about. Don't worry about what the other people are doing. Don't worry about discerning that. What are you about? Turn that in on yourself. Ooh, you're soaring. I love that. I love that. So I'll read you a little bit about this so it can make sense to you a little bit more. So Hawk medicine is a totem that is filled with responsibility, because Hawk people see the overall view. It's also about the birds. They see the overall big picture view. Hawk is not like Mouse, who sees everything through a magnifying glass. Hawk medicine people are aware of omens, messages from the spirit, and the color of the calling card you gave them. No detail slips by Hawk people. So this is very interesting in relation to this Uranus retrograde. What are the messages that you need to know? Once again, don't worry about everyone else. Like, do not. Uranus, that's an energy that's far reaching. It's about, the community and, the, revolution, like I mentioned, but we got to bring it in. What's your inner community? Pay attention to what's going on here before you do all this out here. That's what a retrograde is about, turning it in. So Hawk, how could you use Hawk medicine? How could you use omens, signs, symbols? What message, as I hear a bird right now outside my window, what message do you need to know? Ask yourself that. We all have free will. So things don't necessarily drop in our lap sometimes. We have to ask for it. We have to allow it. We have to allow it. So sometimes, you know, it could be a prayer, it could be a mantra. Just at the end of the night, sometime this week, just go, what is it that I need to know? What is the message from me? Sometimes I like to do this as I'm falling asleep so that I could see what arises in dreams, because sometimes your subconscious will kick all that out, or sometimes you have a higher source that's bringing it in. Either way, you're going to get that message. And make an effort, set an intention to remember it. Say, I want to remember the message. Whether you do or not, you know what, it's still ingrained, you'll still internalize it, but if you really want to know, and if you want to know enough to that where you could jot it down and really apply it, say, what's my message? And please let me remember it in the morning. And as soon as you wake up, do not grab your phone, do not grab your coffee or whatever it is, write it down. I don't care if it seems so far-fetched or if it seems too hazy or if it seems, just write down whatever you can remember, whether it's symbols, people, sensations you've got. Sometimes we don't see anything, we just feel it. So that's really important. Please do that this weekend. Take the time. It'll be worth it. So yeah, Uranus retrograde, there's going to be, it's known as the awakening planet, great awakening, but that awakening is going to happen in here. And I think I've seen it in a lot of people. Oh my goodness, people are like, it's like their eyes are just so open, and they can't wait to learn more, and they can't wait to just go, what does this mean? You know, I've seen a lot of that and people talking about these eclipses, but other stuff is going on too. It is not just the eclipses. You have to look at everything. And speaking of which, today, Jupiter square Pluto. And you astrology people know what I'm talking about. So Jupiter is a planet of expansion. It's called the lucky planet because it's like, woohoo, like adventure, experience everything, you know, things like that. It's just known as the lucky planet. Even though I don't like to assign luck to any planet, it's, you know, Jupiter days are good ones, typically. Whereas Pluto is a bit about transformation. It's kind of the god of the underworld sensation, you know, it's not, it's serious. So Jupiter combined with Pluto, that's like a major determination, a major ambition right now, especially in Leo. So it's a really good time for your career. It's a really good time to just pursue things. In general, pursuits, it's about, you know what, you're going to maybe want to break some rules and cut some corners, but know that slow and steady wins the race. I mean, you will want to go out of the gate right now, which is cool, but make sure you're channeling that energy well so that you're not puttering out, you know, 2 days into this. So just make sure that everything's nice and smooth. You're planning out a little bit, but you're really, really throwing that energy at it, because we have a lot of fire right now. We have so much going on that you could really, really, you really need an outlet for that stuff, or else you might just get too far up here with all the air element stuff and the chitter chatter. So, all right, so we have 2 numerology cards. So I would like you guys to, once again, I'll tilt it down, and I want you to tell me what you think these cards are. So these are the numerology cards. They each have a number on them, or a double digit. What are you feeling? And you don't have to worry about the number. You could also pick up the theme. The theme. What's going on? And you could just take a deep breath and see what pops up. Think about it in terms of the Uranus retrograde. Think about that inner rebellion, that inner revolution, and what you need to break the ties that bind. Alrighty. So, okay. First we have physical activity. Yeah. So once again, like I said earlier, it's a really good outlet for all this extra energy, so that you're not too far up in the head. You can get down into the body, ground it out. You know my catchphrase, when in doubt, ground it out. I'm going to put that on t-shirts, I swear. So make sure that you're getting that in. It could be exercise, it could be yoga, it could be simply just, like I said, standing outside and grounding. So many of us are so far up here that we're not in our bodies. This is a great, great way to be in your body. Just make sure you set the intention to be in your body when you know, it sounds silly, oh, be in your body when you exercise. Some of us aren't. A lot of us are not. We're off somewhere else, or we're watching TV, or we're listening to a podcast or something like that. When we should actually be engaging in the muscle, engaging in all of that. Oh my gosh, your body is wondrous. There's so much to observe. So just take the time, unplug, and really sit in with the body. See what comes up, the sensations, the things that you need to know, the messages that you need to know physically. Your body tells you so much. It's ridiculous. The next time you're stressed, do a quick body scan. Figure out where you're holding that. Where are you holding that? Sometimes it's in a really weird place, because usually you think, oh, the back or the shoulders. Yeah, that is common. Sometimes it's like the throat. Sometimes it's the jaw. Sometimes it's even the feet clenched up, or the hands, or the forehead. There's so many places, and where you tend to hold it says a lot about what's going on internally and spiritually. So that's a little tidbit there. So I'll give you a little affirmation that goes along with this physical activity card, so you can take it with you throughout the weekend. Once again, this is also about the Uranus retrograde and how it's going to help you, what you need to do to work with it, not against it. And physical activity will help you channel all that just intense energy into something, well, physical, basically. So the affirmation that goes along with this card is, I'll say it again. I exercise my body and improve my quality of life. I exercise my body and improve my quality of life. Simple as that. Simple as that. Sports, yes, that's a really good outlet, because that actually does involve the mental. A lot about the mental, but it's a good balance of both. Welcome, new people. The house where Uranus retrogrades is at for us key to. Yes, that's key to the house. I mean, some people don't believe in the energy of the houses. I do. But depending on where things are at in your chart too, there's a lot of factors that go into these. But this is a collective just interpretation of how it could be affecting the world right now. So the second card, which is kind of cool, we have 67 and we have 57. Teaching and learning. So did anyone pick up on this stuff? Did anyone get these numbers, 67, 57, anything like that? Or did you get any, maybe you got a physical sensation, or maybe you thought about teaching, or you thought about things that you're learning about right now. So this is obvious, teaching and learning. What's cool is that recently I was helping my fiance work on his portfolio site, and he mentioned that on his bio page that he thinks that teaching is essential to learning. It's like a give and take. You're absorbing and you're giving away what you absorbed. It's a really good balance. So I'll give you the affirmation that goes along with teaching and learning. Okay, so take this one with you too. Everything I learn and teach serves the greatest good. Everything I learn and teach serves the greatest good. Wonderful. Nice and simple. So what I'm going to do is I have one more deck, and because I usually use 3 decks, right? So this one I wanted to pull live instead of pre-pulling the card. So I want to see what you guys are getting before I even touch this deck. What's coming to mind? What is coming to mind before I even tell you what deck it is? It's not the Avalon deck. It's going to show us the hidden. Going to show us the hidden. Oh, that's nice, Todd. We have to honor the teacher within and the teacher without. Yes. And especially with this retrograde going on and then the Mercury one happening, like I said, about the within. So yes, the teacher without, absolutely. But a little bit right now, it's going to be a little bit more about the within. So, all right. I'm going to pull from Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. This card is going to tell us what's hidden. Once again, about Uranus retrograde, and also about the Jupiter square Pluto, because that's really intense. It's really intense. And I wrote down the dates actually that it actually occurs. So oh wait, I didn't write down the date that it stops. But it does last a little while, and So we really need to remember that, once again, Jupiter's expansion, Pluto is transformation. It may have to do a bit with money, success, career. Ignite. You're going to be ignited, basically. That sounds scary. You're not going to combust, but you will be ignited. And it's up to you to determine how you're going to use that energy well. Up to you. Nothing is going to be handed to you right now. These are things that you work with. And if any of this is confusing, or if you want to know more about how this kind of works, let me know. And if you message me, I could clarify things a little bit. But basically, make sure that you're not rebelling for the sake of it right now because of this Uranus retrograde. And make sure that you aren't staying in comfort zones. You are not staying in comfort zones. The retrograde may make you want to because you're going to go with it and all that stuff, but you basically won't be able to stay in your comfort zone right now. I know that may sound scary to some people, but it's very exciting and it's very real. So without further ado, we're going to pull a wisdom of the hidden realms, and we're going to see what's hidden, what we need to know. What do you need to know? What we all need to know to navigate these waters and to see what this month holds. It's a bit about this month. This is an intense month. So this is the weekly or weekend oracle, but you know, there's a monthly theme. Oh, goodness. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, so first of all, even though it's a Jupiter square Pluto, a square is a difficult aspect, but it could bring a lot of treasure, gift, lesson through lessons. So we have the Diamond Dreamer. Material wealth, true prosperity. What did I say about Jupiter being, it is a lucky planet, and it can be about finances as well. It has in my life been about that. Oh my goodness. So the Diamond Dreamer. This is gorgeous, by the way. Take a look at that. I know it's backwards for you. So what does a diamond signify? What do you think of when you hear diamond? What is the real meaning behind that? It's more than just a decoration. It's more than just a jewel. How is it formed? It's formed under intense circumstances, intense elemental circumstances. So this tells me, without even reading, you know, I'm not super familiar with this deck, but I like to just see what I get first. What this tells me is that this is working for that prosperity. This is working for that material wealth. These diamonds are not dropped in your lap. You're working for them. Absolutely. And with the 6th card here, it can be a bit about balance. It can be about balance in the home and the work life. So I will read you a little bit about this card since I have not pulled it before live, and see what you get out of this. You could close your eyes. You could see what comes up. You could see what images come up. People, places, things. Once again, with the hawk, it's about messages. It's about omens. What comes up? What comes up for you? Okay, Diamond Dreamer. When the Diamond Dreamer arrives, he represents the successful manifestation of the unseen into the material. Be sure you truly want what you think you desire. I'll say that again. Be sure you truly want what you think you desire. It's one of those careful what you wish for, because during all this stuff, we could do some heavy manifesting, and sometimes we'll manifest things that we did not want. All manner of conditions will flow around you. Messages from Spirit will serve to guide you towards achieving your heart's desire. If you want a house, you'll be led to it. If your priority is a new job, with the right continual steps, you will achieve this. If you desire a more harmonious relationship, the measures needed to create this will be obvious. A project finally pays off. Material gain and positive financial shifts may also be on the way. You will indeed see the tangible results of your ambition. Ambition. It's all about ambition right now. The Diamond Dreamer also serves to guide you to the appropriate choices so that the unseen is awakened to move mountains on your behalf. Positive communication is now possible in all of your relationships. I love that. That fits in so well. Perfect. Ambition. Go for it. But know what you want first. That's been a theme so much lately, is how you can't, I think the quote was, if you don't have a target, you'll never hit the mark. You know, you have to know what your target is. What's your end game? What's your ultimate goal? We're so vague about that sometimes. You could tell me right now, put it right there. What's your ultimate goal? What is it? You may not even know. You may go, oh, but I thought I knew, but now that I'm on the spot, I don't even know what to say. No, what is your ultimate goal for real? What are you trying to do? What is all this effort for? What's the ultimate goal? Let's see who's brave enough to answer this. I know there's a delay, so sometimes you guys take a while to answer because there's a bit of a delay, but I want to know, what is your ultimate goal? Be brave. Put it into words. Type it out with your fingers. What is your ultimate goal? Especially during this month where everything's at the touch of our hands, everything's within reach. It could be scary. There's a big responsibility there. There could be some very life-changing shifts this month. So what's your goal? Because if you don't have one, you're going to miss this boat. All this energy is going to, it will affect you, but it's kind of going to go, oh, okay, she doesn't know what she wants, so I'm going to, pass her by. So what's your goal? And you could write this out, and you could, once again, before you go to sleep, say, what is my goal? What message do I need to know? Once again, ask. Just ask. If you're unclear, ask. What do I need to know? What message do I need to know? Think about that. What is your goal? And you could sit there and make a goal sheet till the cows come home, or, a to-do list and all that, but until you fully realize what you want to do, it's going to be an uphill battle until you align with your true purpose, your true goal, and not something that someone told you should do. Not something somebody, you're forced to do. Uranus with this retrograde, nah, no. You are not going to follow the leader right now. You are not going to compromise any of your dreams, any of your goals. You're going to want to turn things around. You're going to want to find unconventional ways to change your life, whether it's health, love, whatever it may be. You're going to look towards things that you've never tried before, because that's the energy in the air right now, especially regarding this, what you're doing inside. So it can very well be about health and things like that. Healing, it could be inner child work. That would be wonderful for this month. Anything like that. So, well, I hope that, ooh, good, someone said it. Peace. I love that, Paul. Peace. Simple as that, peace. That is a wonderful goal. Everybody wants peace. Inside and outside. Perfect. And Troy says to get this new job on Monday. You know what's so interesting? There have been a ton of people getting new jobs lately. Left and right, I'm seeing people saying, I got the job, I got the job. Do you see? Do you see how it's playing out? You could be one of those people. You have to go for it. I've seen a few of you guys, who are watching right now, go for it. Have a clear goal in mind and say, I want this job. And you went for it and you got it. So like I said, a lot of it has to do with career right now. But a little bit deeper than that, more purposeful career. Purposeful. So even though if you're in a job where you feel like you're not expressing your true purpose, or you're going to feel restless right now. This energy is a very restless energy. It's kind of like this, tapping you on the shoulder. Hey, what are you doing? What do you want to do? And it could be a little bit scary because we like to be in our comfort zone sometimes. We're like, oh, I'm so cozy here. But no, we're going to get that tap. How are you going to respond to that tap? It's going to be really hard to ignore it this month. So what do? You use the energy to your advantage. You use it. And yeah, that's about it. And if anyone wants a personal reading to see how things are working for you personally, once again, this is a collective reading. It's for everybody. But personally, we're all on a different wavelength. Tiny bit of a different wavelength, where we're each dealing with our own relationships, our own jobs, our own situations, and things are going to be tweaked a little bit to fit into what's happening to you personally. But overall, we have, you know what? Diamond Dreamer, you're going to work for those diamonds. They're not going to fall in your lap. Got to work for them a little bit. Hawk, pay attention to the messages, pay attention to the omens and signs. Teaching and learning. Share what you know. Be open to learning. If you're not open to learning, you're too stagnant. Sometimes that Uranus energy, it's so revolutionary that it could be a little bit stagnant in learning, but it's a great learner. when it's open to it. Physical activity, whatever that means to you, whatever you're most comfortable doing, but push yourself a little bit outside of that comfort zone. Don't be miserable. Don't run a marathon if you've never run around the block, you know, type of thing. But put yourself a little bit out of that comfort zone, because you're going to be pushed out anyways. You might as well go with it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'm going to see you on Monday for the weekly oracle. And next week I'll be bringing more planetary advice and things like that, because this is a hot month in the skies. So have a good weekend, guys, and I will see you on Monday. Bye.